Today, I'm going to share one of the most underutilized savings tools if you're looking to save for your first home. You could be getting £1,000 a year interest-free from the government. As a bank manager, I was always shocked coming up to April how much emphasis and marketing was put into talking about ISAs. ISAs are one of the most underutilized savings tools in the UK. And I would say that the lifetime ISA, if you're a first time buyer, is also one of the most underutilized tools. Now, it's not for everybody, and you should do your due diligence. Make sure you check out all of the product specifications and criteria, and make sure that you're utilizing it for the purpose of purchasing a home, because that's really what it's for. I'm not here to give financial advice, but I do want to share this product with you. So what is the criteria for a lifetime ISA? You know I love a good slide, so let's talk through the slide. The common eligibility criteria is you must be between 18 and 39 to open one of these lifetime ISAs. Now, you're probably not going to find them in or on the high street. You're probably going to find them online. I'd recommend going to Money Savings Expert and doing your research. Residency, you must be a UK resident or a Crown employee abroad. This is important. Home purchase. Now, you must be a first-time buyer. So this is for first-time buyers. And the property must be in the UK and worth less than 450,000. So if you're in London, this may not be a great product for you. And you must live in the property. You shouldn't be looking to get the ISA that you can purchase a property that you can let out. It's not for that. This is for first-time buyers for their residential property. Also, some of the other criteria that we want to look at is that you must hold the ISA for 12 months, at least 12 months before using it to buy a home. So if you're planning on buying within the next 4 to 6 months, this is not the product for you. This is for people that have put a plan together on how they're going to save for a deposit for their first home, and this is going to be one of the tools. I mean, it's an extra £1,000 a year, and depending on how long it's going to take for you to save, that could cover your moving costs, it could cover a new kitchen, it could cover your solicitor's fees. Also, only one LISA per person. Couples can each have one. So the husband can have one, the wife can have one, but they don't do joint lifetime ISAs. I'm going to go through the pros first, and then I'll go through the cons, because I do want people to know that there is a risk if you don't get the right product and you don't understand how the product works. So the pros are you get a 25% government bonus, get up to £1,000 a year. So that's 25% of up to £4,000 contribution. So in short terms, if you put £4,000 in, you get £1,000. Now, be sure to read the product specifications when you're taking out a lifetime ISA, that you can understand how and when you get the interest. It's tax-free growth. So interest and the investment returns are tax-free. It's an ISA. First-time buyer help. Use it towards the first home of up to £450,000. Yes, I keep stressing that it's your first home, because I don't want people thinking that this is an investment strategy that they can use to go out and buy buy-to-let properties. Or you can use it as a retirement savings. So you can access the funds at age 60 penalty-free. If you try to access it before that, it's going to have penalties. And let's go through what some of the cons or some of the downsides of this product are if you take it out and don't understand what it is. So there's a 25% withdrawal penalty. So it applies if you withdraw for anything other than a first home, terminal illness, or after the age of 60. You could lose part of your original contribution. So if you plan on using the money for anything other than a first home, or if you are going to want it before the age of 60, this may not be the product for you. So there's also a home value limit. And keep in mind, I'm in London, so £450,000 for a home may not quite cut it. So that £450,000 cap may be restrictive in high cost areas. So the contribution window, you can only pay in until age 50. So although you can open it between 18 and 39, you can only pay into it until age 50. And as I keep saying, it's not for everyone because it's less flexible than other ISAs due to strict usage rules. You may be considering getting a home and you may be a first time buyer, so you may not understand how the process works and how long the process takes. So I'm going to give you a few hints and tips that you can consider before you speak to your mortgage broker. So the first thing to think about is it takes longer than you think. It's as fast as the slowest person. So make sure you have the right team in place. That means having the right mortgage broker, the right solicitor, and when you're speaking to the estate agent, understand the estate agent works for who? The seller. The estate agent does not work for you. The process of purchasing a home or the mortgage process is still quite manual. So there's a lot of things that will be delayed if you can't get in touch with people or if you, as the buyer, are slow and non-responsive in getting the documents that your mortgage broker needs. And people are busy and sometimes they go on vacation. With summer coming or Christmas coming, you'll find that your solicitor or your broker or just the people at the bank may not be in, so the deal can move a little bit slower. I'm going to share some timelines with you though. So for a purchase, so for a new home purchase, so you're going to go and find a home and it's your first home, it's not a remortgage. The new home purchase is about 4 to 6 months, and that's about 4 to 6 months. Keeping in mind, about 50% of all purchases don't go through. Yes, about half of purchases don't go through. That could be because the seller changes their mind, the buyer changes their mind, and a myriad of other things. So give it 4 to 6 months. And remember, the deposit does not come out of your account until pretty close towards the time when you're going to get your keys. But give it 4 to 6 months. It is standard. It can be quicker or slower, but don't think that you're going to go out, find a house, get your mortgage, and be moving in the next month. A remortgage is about 7 to 10 weeks. And I'm giving you averages because, as I said, sometimes I've had clients, I've had to wait for them for 2 weeks to send me a pay slip. So the averages are based on overall statistics. There's some longer, some shorter, but I would say 7 to 10 weeks. Now, a product transfer is when you're ready with a lender and you're just going on another product. That's going to be 1 to 2 weeks. All of these timelines, as I said, are estimates. Don't forget about additional expenses, especially as first-time buyers. I know a lot of young people, they're moving out of their parents' home for the first time, and they haven't considered all of the other things that come along with purchasing a home. So you're going to have your cost of moving. That's the physical cost of moving. I find that most people, when they're moving into a new home, they want to do some light decorations or heavy decorations. So don't forget about those costs, getting a builder and getting a painter, doing the floors, doing the windows, accessories, and things like that. Your solicitor, do not cut corners on your solicitor. Having a cheap solicitor is not cheap. Having a solicitor that's not responding, not reviewing the documents correctly, making errors is going to cost you money in the long run. So make sure you work with a solicitor that's been recommended to you by someone that has used that solicitor. Quite often, the estate agent will talk to you about their solicitor, and they may be a great solicitor. But I would recommend, as a broker, that if your broker is recommending a solicitor, there's a reason. Because as brokers, we, for the most part, don't really get paid unless the entire deal goes through. So it's in our best interest, A, for the deal to go through, and B, for the deal to go through as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And also, we work in a referral business. So as brokers, we have to and want to do a great job for you because then you'll refer friends and family. If we do a bad job or a poor job, you're going to tell everybody, and it's going to be hard for us to continue to deliver a great service. And the other thing that I would talk about is what we in the industry call protection, but you probably think about it as insurance. One of the most common things that I find that happens when I'm doing a mortgage for someone, keeping in mind that as a broker, I've looked at your finances, I've looked at your credit profile, I've looked at your spending, so I know what you can afford. When we start having the conversation about protection or insurance, quite often clients will tell me, well, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. Keep in mind, we've already looked at your finances. So we're not trying to sell you insurance, we're trying to protect you. If your view is that you can't afford the insurance or the protection while you are working, what are you going to do when you're not working? So if while you're working and your husband's working or the other person on the mortgage is working, you're saying that the mortgage payment is fine, but the insurance payment you're going to struggle to pay, or you don't want to pay, or it's too expensive. What if one of you gets sick? What if one of you loses your job, or in the worst case scenario, one of you passes away? The lender still is going to want their mortgage payment every single month. So as mortgage brokers, we are required to have the conversation with you, to find out what you have in place, and to see if there are any gaps. If there are gaps, we're going to make sure that we put something in place to cover those gaps. So I shouldn't even say it's an additional expense. It's an expense that you should go into understanding that it's part of the process. Although it's not a legal requirement that you take out the insurance, we are required by law to make sure we have the conversation with you. And the other thing that I would say, don't forget to talk to your mortgage broker about will and estate planning. Most people understand that they need a will, but a lot of people just keep putting it off. You're about to take out the biggest debt that you'll ever have in your life, probably. So why not make sure at this point that you do the life admin? Make sure that you get a estate planner to look at everything, to talk to you and put a will in place. Make sure that what you want to happen when you do pass is on paper. And as I always say, make sure that everybody knows what everybody knows. I've seen a lot of people who have done wills and one person knows and then other people don't know, or the will's been updated and nobody knows that the will has been updated. So I've gone through a few things with you, but remember this. Getting a mortgage is a part of the process, and it can be stressful and it can be difficult. As mortgage brokers, we are here to take the admin off your hands, to give you advice, to give you guidance. Don't take guidance and advice from some person on YouTube or a friend that doesn't know your personal circumstances, maybe has bought 1 or 2 houses in their life. The average mortgage broker might be doing 10, 15 mortgages a month. So they're going to be better versed and be able to give you the information that you need to make an informed choice. And one of the biggest problems that I run into is not that people don't have enough information or that people haven't been told things, but people have been given information that is not for them. So we talk a lot about loan to valuation, we talk about interest rates, but not every interest rate is going to be available to every client. So make sure you speak to your broker. If you don't feel that you can be open and honest with your broker, then you're probably dealing with the wrong person. My name is Anthony. Make sure that you like, subscribe, give comments, and if you need a mortgage broker, make sure that you reach out.